Okay, so now we're on chapter 2, and Celeste she's found her target. She's been surveying all the young boys at school, and she found a target. His name is Jack Patrick. Jack Patrick. Something in his chin-length blonde hair and the diminutive leanness of his chest refined for me just what it was about the particular subset of this age group that I found entrancing. He was the very last length of androgyny that puberty would permit him. Undeniably male, but not man. I loved the lanky-limbed smoothness, the plasticity of his limbs, the way his frame shunned both fat and muscle. It had not yet been wrestled into a fixed shape. Well, she's really put a lot of thought into it, huh? Oh, and I guess before Jack, she had, when she worked at a different school, she developed a crush on a young man named Steven. That's how she describes it, a young man named Steven. And she refers to him as an unfortunately moral boy, because he's like religious, but you know, she's creeping on him the way she creeps on him. And says here, after he missed a test, I volunteered to stay after and proctor a makeup. Finally, it was just the two of us alone in the classroom. When he finished, I asked if I could give him a ride home and suggestively leaned across my desk. His eyes froze with appalled disbelief. Perhaps it was a rush to judgment, but my first inclination was to blame his faith. He was suddenly looking at me as though he'd seen a demon appear on my shoulder, or watched hidden expletives carved into my forehead become visible. So you know you're kind of fucked in the head if you're giving a little boy the ick. I knew he'd never let me be alone with him again. I immediately pushed a student desk up against the door, sat down, and began to finger myself while okay. Damn, I can't see shit without my glasses. Where the fuck are my glasses? I have to drive later. I better find those. Could be very dangerous for a lot of people on the roads. I try to do like an eye test. Like I try to hold it up and then like move it further and further away to where it gets blurry. Which I think that might be good for my eyes, but it doesn't make for a good reading experience. I just feel like I'm at the DMV. Okay, so now, so Celeste has focused on a young man named Jack Patrick. And right now, her husband, Ford, who's in his mid-30s, he's only 10 years older than her. But the way she talks about him, he might as well be her fucking grandpa. She wants, obviously, from her perspective, she wants nothing to do with a 36-year-old man. But anyway, it's Ford's poker night. Ford's poker night provided a perfect cover for my first stakeout. Every Wednesday after work, several of his fellow officers, oh yeah, Ford's a cop too. So she's a pedophile married to a cop. What do they call that? Hiding in plain sight? Something like that. Ford's poker night provided a perfect cover for my first stakeout. Every Wednesday after work, several of his fellow officers would come over to the house for cards. Even though this was now routine, returning home to the sight of 8 squad cars parked in our driveway still caused me to feel an instant enroiling vertigo. A few months ago, I nearly swerved off the road and clipped a fire hydrant when I saw them there. My immediate thought was always that my internet search history had been discovered, or a latent report had been filed, perhaps about one of the indiscreet hallway gropes I tried to pass off as accidental clumsiness during my student teaching days. Okay, so Ford's having his poker night, and she's leaving under the guise of she's going to the gym. And Ford's very proud of his wife, because she's very attractive, she keeps in great shape, and you know, he's at the table with his poker buddies, so he's kind of like, look at my wife. You know, isn't she hot, fellas? And they're all doing like the older guy, pervy type stuff, like, ooh, yeah. It's very much the guy on the beach with the sunglasses, and when he sees the girl walking by, it's like, oh, yeah. Imagine playing that song Imagine they make this into a movie. They probably will. It's probably already in the works. But imagine this is a movie, and Celeste is like in school the first day, and all the boys are like walking down the hallway, and she's got sunglasses on. She's like, oh yeah. Bunch of close-ups of like Bugle Boy jeans. Do they still make this? Okay, so Celeste is leaving the house while Ford and his cop buddies play poker. She told him she's going to the gym, but she's not going to the gym. She's going to Jack Patrick's house. I'd memorized the directions to Jack's house. An old online listing divulged it was a 1-story, 5-bedroom home with vaulted ceilings. The upper middle class purchase price from a few years ago was encouraging. I hoped for a set of working parents who didn't have time to decode lies or do micromanaging parenting. An online map reported a 5.3-mile drive. Before starting my car, I was sure to reset the odometer to double-check the distance. Any fact or statistic related to Jack felt like progress. That's stalking. That's definitely stalking. Okay, so she's at Jack's house now, and she's got binoculars. Although a passerby would have had to press his nose fully against my car's tinted window in order to see inside, masturbating in public with no cover seemed inelegant. I grabbed the towel, unfolding it across my lap as though I were about to eat a personal picnic, then slid down my running shorts beneath it. Unsticking my legs from the seat, I expertly opened them into position, since they would immediately bond with the hot leather of the car's seat and fix themselves in place. It was important that my orgasm wouldn't require any thigh movement. And really, it's a good thing it's just a one-handed job, because how else are you going to hold the binoculars? Am I right? Okay, so basically she's flicking it, and she's watching him, but there's people jogging by. You know, even if she's got tinted windows, she still doesn't want to get caught. So she has to keep stopping. I think there's somebody walking their dog too. And it's a small neighborhood, so they keep like circling around. Another jogger lapped my convertible, his face the color of burned meat. His chest was sweating the way a fatally wounded stab victim might bleed. A wave of desperation coursed through me that nearly made me jump from the car and run, shorts still around my ankles, buzzing vibrator dropping onto the asphalt from between my legs. To Jack's window, to rap on it loudly with my fist, then press my buttocks against the glass and turn behind to look at him with one panicked fisheye on the side of my face and offer no command or explanation beyond, "Take me right now, through this window. You're too young to realize we don't have much time." So she's a little desperate. Okay, so she gets what she came for. She rubs one out, and she goes home. And remember, Ford was having poker night, and that's over now. So Ford's got a couple drinks in him, and he's getting a little handsy. And this is what they do when she doesn't want to have sex with him, which is like all the time. So one good thing about returning to the house in sweaty aerobic gear was that Ford had to believe me when I claimed to be too tired. The concession was always that I'd lie down on my side for him, and he'd get to lower my spandex shorts to reveal my buttocks, pull down my sports bra so a profiled nipple was showing as well, and masturbate standing above me while I closed my eyes and pretended to have fallen asleep. It's quite a life you're living there, and you do that every day, huh? Well, that's chapter 2.